good evening. I'm Melissa Idris. More than 2 decades after gaining independence, Timor-Leste stands as one of the youngest democracies in the world. Now, at the heart of its story is Prime Minister Xanana Gusmão, a former freedom fighter turned statesman who led the country through its most defining moments, from resistance against Indonesian occupation to the arduous task of nation building. Now, joining me on an exclusive interview for ASTRO AWANI is the man often called the father of Timor-Leste's independence, Prime Minister Xanana Gusmão, who's here on a 3-day official visit to Malaysia. So thank you for taking time to speak with me today. I want to ask you, Prime Minister, Timor-Leste has often been hailed as a country that has been successful in emerging out of conflict. But are you satisfied with where Timor-Leste's democracy is at today? Your country's journey has not been without political turmoil. As the person leading the country, are you satisfied with where the state of the nation is today?
Well, if we talk about democracy, of course, we don't say proud, but happy to be a democratic nation. But the problem is that the result of the elections sometimes produce step back, because we are a new country. Not everybody has the same ideas, the same vision for the country, but in general terms, yes, we are going in a good process. The real problem is, if we want to see Timor-Leste being more consolidated, we have to look at 2 things. One, human resources that can understand, can perceive, and can think about the development of the country, and a good administration.
Okay.
It is what we face.
You said not everybody has the same vision for the trajectory of the country. What's your vision? Where do you see Timor-Leste?
I don't say that I have better vision than others.
Different vision?
What only I can say is that being in the struggle with the people that died and suffering, I've felt this for years.
Yeah.
After being independent, what I can keep in my mind is they fought for others. They never asked something for them. They died, they offered their life for the independence of the country. And I believe that they had a dream. They all, more than 250,000 people died.
Wow.
They all had a dream. An independent country with a people living in good conditions. That is why in new countries like ours, young countries, what we should have, all the political parties of the political groups should have, is a perception that being in the government, being in the power, is not for themselves, but to serve the people,
Service.
to build peace and to build development.
Right. Speaking about development, the country is, like you say, new, but still struggling with poverty, struggling with underdevelopment.
That is right.
In health and education, where do you see the promises of this government in advancing the state of development?
Yes. Look, when you have a vision and you start to be able to do something. It only happens when you are in the government. Of course, we all the people, know that nothing happens immediately. But through a good process of developing here, developing there, developing this sector, the other sector, you can start reducing year by year the inequalities. And this is what I am asking. Everybody that go to the power don't feel that it is to get money, to get position, but to have a vision, have a good program, and to start reducing the inequalities
And
in all the areas that you mentioned.
And how do you plan on achieving that? Is it through economic diversification? Your economy is dependent on oil revenues, which in this current climate challenge world is a problem.
We can separate two big questions. When you talk about education, health, it is not economic diversification. It is to build all the conditions that the kids can go to school, to build all the conditions that the ill people can go to clinic very nearby. Different, no? And another one, and it is what we are trying to do in this mandate of 5 years, is the economic diversification. The problem is that we noted when we came to the government is we stopped to produce, we buy everything from outside.
So you are dependent on
now,
imports.
yes. Now, during these 5 years, we are trying to improve the productivity in agriculture, in many things, to at least start reducing the import. It means that if I produce something you buy, the money comes to my hand, not to outside. Yes. And we, for this mandate of 5 years, we are appealing, we are opening our doors for foreign investments.
Okay.
Foreign investments that can give jobs to our people and can produce some difference, good difference.
So what is your pitch to foreign investors? What are you telling foreign investors about Timor-Leste's attractiveness?
The problem is, I was in the government in 2007, 2008. Many investors went there. They said, go around and see, and they came to me and said, we need good roads, we need water, we need electricity.
Okay.
After you have all of this, you call me and I will come. That is why I will not tell you that we want to invest here. No. When the foreign investors go there and ask to meet me, I said, go around, see the conditions. If you need something, a key to open the door for your investment, tell me. But I will not tell you, invest here, invest there. That is why it will depend on who has money to go and invest, no?
But you have a very young population, 60% or
very,
so.
very young.
It's under 35.
Yes, more than 60.
More than 60.
60%. In my generation, from my generation, we are 5% only.
So what then do you say, Prime Minister, who say your generation is 5%, but it is your generation who is leading the country? Is it time for generational change
Yes,
in
of
leadership?
course,
Is that time
of
to hear what
course.
young people say?
We are telling them. We are telling them.
What are you telling them?
Telling them that the future will belong to them. They have to make all efforts to create some good way of thinking in their mind and to be more active, not waiting only to be called to have a job here, job no. And in 2014, I was Prime Minister.
Yes.
I left. I said, new generations, you come and take. That's why we are trying to make sure that the young people, young, I don't say 5 years, 15 years, but the young generation start to understand that we, in few years, we are going. Where, I don't know. I didn't buy yet the ticket, but we are going, and the future of Timor will be in their hand and in their mind.
What do they want? When you talk to them, the young people of your country that you are leading, what is it that they want from you and from your leadership and your administration? What are they
What they want to
desiring?
see is example. If you talk, they say,
Okay, they want action.
They want action. Oh, you did this. They go and see, okay, wow, good, wow, good. And because sometimes you can get many degrees in an university, but send him or her to, I know nothing. That is why. If we can prove in our action, in our activities, what we are saying, it will be more effective than having workshops and blah, 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 blah. They say they stop talking.
Okay. So they want to see action from your government.
Yes.
And in your tenure, you are hoping to be admitted into ASEAN as a full member. Talk to me about how that might open doors for Timor-Leste.
We cannot imagine to become member like a key. Open door, here you go in.
Okay.
No, there are many issues to accomplish, many areas to accomplish. We can say that in general terms we are 50% prepared. But when you say in general terms 50%, in some you are 60, in some you are 30, like this, no?
Can you give me an example? In which areas are you
They
as prepared
they
as in
are,
others?
I would not say, there are many issues to accomplish.
Okay. So you are, however, optimistic that this is the right thing for Timor-Leste?
Yes, the right thing. In terms of principle, we always are, how to say, convinced that we cannot go alone.
Okay. Can you talk
If
to
we
me?
are in a region,
Yes.
better to be member of.
Can you talk to me a little bit about how Malaysia has been supporting
Very
Timor-Leste
supportive.
in not just in
Very
its ASEAN
supportive.
endeavors, but also its nation building?
Very supportive, very, and we hope that, and now they are helping. The government is helping, receiving our people here, going there, and Malaysia. That is why the Prime Minister invited me to come to affirm this, to affirm that we support you. And we are going to do everything to remember next year.
a long history, our two countries, even before the independence of Timor-Leste. Talk to me a little bit about how Malaysia's connection with East Timor at the time has shaped the journey of your nation. Kamal Bamadaj, the Malaysian activist who was killed in the Dili massacre in 1991, yes.
Of course.
So his death brought a lot of attention to the struggles of East Timor.
Yes, of course.
Our history goes way back. Do you feel a sense of connection with the country? Do you feel that Malaysia can continue on helping, being a friend? And
At the time was very difficult to the government, and I was trying to clarify in the institute that yes, many countries didn't behave very well, in terms of reacting to the problem of illegal occupation.
Yes.
But that is why diplomats, talking about diplomacy and international relations, we owe not only to the gentleman in Malaysia, but from Indonesia, from Australia, from everywhere around the world, citizens that every year, every month, they said, no, the Timorese people have the right to self-determination. And it is diplomacy.
Yes.
And they keep talking, keep fighting, and in few countries, the people could modify the sentiments of the governments, trying to not to be in favor of occupation, but to say something that it is against the law, etc., etc. It helped very much.
Moving forward, how would the diplomatic relationship between yourself and the newly minted President of Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto, how is that? You have a long-standing history.
I went to his inauguration.
Is that relationship going to be a good relationship moving forward?
Why not?
You have history, long history
why
with Indonesia.
Why not? Because Susilo Bambang Udiono was general. He was also involved in some more, some less. No, that is why we had already established the reconciliation process. Yes. That is why the past is the past. What we all are committed to is not to happen again. That is right.
How has that been, instituting that reconciliation process, forgiving a tragic and difficult past of Indonesian occupation?
Very difficult. It took years, but to reconcile, if I make something to you, to reconcile, you have to accept to talk to me. I can unilaterally, I can be very, repentant and sorry, and you can say no. I don't trust you like this, no? When a process of reconciliation happens, it means the result of both sides accepting each other. One, to ask forgiveness, another, to forgive. Both sides. That is why we didn't only say, okay, it is the past, just throw away. No, we didn't. We take note of all the massacres, all the crimes, everything.
Okay. Because that's important.
I did many things against you. You produce all, and I said yes. In this day, I kill this. In this day, I say that. After that, I accept, I agree, said yes, I confess, I did this. Now, forgive me. It is, the reconciliation is not only, oh, how are you? Oh, no, we will see you. No, I did.
Do you see it happen today in society? Do you see society, the Timorese people having forgiven and
We did this already. We did this. Because during the struggle, not only the Indonesian military killed us, but also the Timorese killed Timorese. We did. And that is why when we talk about Prabowo, don't talk about a single person. It is already in all the process.
Understood.
When Suharto died, he was buried. I went there to the ceremony.
Was it difficult for you as a freedom fighter, as someone who was part of the process? No?
Even difficult, we have to do something to prove that this is the best way. Because it was not Suharto only. If the United States didn't allow, Suharto will not go.
So it was more than just one man.
When they started in the invasion, the weapons were almost the Second World War. After that, new weapons used in Vietnam. We know this because we killed the Indonesian soldiers and said, oh, weapons from America, oh. That is why only Suharto, if no help from outside to continue to kill us, that is why we cannot see only Suharto. We have to see who provide the weapons.
The Air Force military.
The Air Force. They use the plane
to fly
in Vietnam, killing Vietnamese with napalm. They gave to Indonesia. Indonesia used this, killed us with napalm. That is why we don't say that Suharto is the no.
Understood.
Who helped him is also.
Well, in the time that we have left, I do want to ask one last question about Timor-Leste's fascinating dual identity, because you are a Portuguese-speaking nation in Southeast Asia. I love that. That makes Timor-Leste so unique. Talk to me a little bit about the uniqueness of your very young country as a Portuguese-speaking country in Southeast Asia.
The uniqueness is that we belong to another regional, not regional, but worldwide. And now we come here, but we saw that it is near to us. We are near to the region. We are part of the region. The uniqueness, I can say, is that as a new country, least developed country, we have to learn more. If we don't learn, you cannot do something good for yourself. That is why I don't say uniqueness, but in some way, when we talk about democracy, maybe in this political environment, we can say that we are not so different, but we are not the same.
Okay. Well, you're also Asia's best-kept secret in terms of
Pardon?
tourism, right? You are probably the most pristine and beautiful country in terms of tourism destinations. Are you going to develop that?
It is very easy to collect words and to say about the country. Now we are facing rains every day with flooding here, flooding there, but the population prefers the flooding, even with their houses and than one entire year without rain because of the climate change.
Yes.
No, last year it was so difficult. People are now, but now it's raining, and that is why the pristine and the unpristine depends on the climate change.
For sure, as all other countries as well. Prime Minister, thank you so much for speaking with me. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
You appreciate my time.
I do.
You should appreciate my patience. Appreciate my time.
Thank you.
Melissa.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. That's all we have for you on this special, exclusive interview with ASTRO Awani. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melissa Idris, signing off for you. Good night.